Welcome to Davinci Resolve over 40 and 30. That's right. Now, wait a minute. If you're not close to 40 or over 48, you can still watch. Anybody can watch this, but I called it that because I know there's a lot of people who watch my content who are over 40 and they're new to tech or they're tech timid, I'll call it that, and they want to learn how to use Davinci Resolve because everybody's telling them that they got to make videos. So I know how to edit in Final Cut. I know how to edit in Premiere. However, I've never really messed with Davinci since it was a color correcting tool way back in the day, had no editing capability, and it was like well over 10 grand. Now I'm gonna get back into Davinci because the timing could not be better. CapCut just lost a dang mind and everyone is running away from CapCut and looking for another free tool that they can use to edit. So the timing of this is damn near flawless for me. Now, I am going to record these over 30 days. I'm going to try to keep them super simple. But again, actually, they have no choice but to be simple because I have no freaking clue what I'm doing in Davinci. But I figure if I got to learn it at this way, you can learn it the same way. So I just wrote some notes here if you're wondering why I keep looking at the table. So I'm brand new to this. I have no experience in Davinci Resolve. So I'm asking you, if you know some stuff that I don't know, suggestions welcome. Drop them in the comments. Tell me what I should be checking out. Tell me what I should be watching. Any plugins or things that might make this easier. You're helping out the community by helping out your mans, okay? Come through. I got thick skin. So if you say I did it the wrong way, cool. Let me know. I'm not going to be mad that you say something crazy. I got thick skin. I'm trying to learn this, so I'm in like Flynn. I'm in to win. We're going to make it happen. I will adjust the pace accordingly. If I start going too fast, the community will let me know. If you say you're going too slow, then I'll tighten things up. I'm just trying to make sure that this training is accessible to everyone. Now, I'm building this in public with the intention of eventually turning this into a course, which I will smooth out. So I'll be recording a lot of things. There will be a lot of mistakes. I'm going to leave them in there. Number one, because I don't want to spend too much time editing, which is funny while I'm making a video about editing, but I just want to get it out so that you guys can know what's going on. Now, I am using Davinci Resolve Studio Pro. Davinci Resolve 20 Studio Pro. I don't know what the heck the name is. See, I messed it up already. Anyway, the reason why I'm using this is twofold. I bought the speed editor, which we will barely talk about in this, so I don't want you to panic, but I learned to edit like this way back in the day on the Sony BVE 9000. It was a very, very expensive, well over hundreds of $1,000s editors. That's why I normally learn to edit. So I like the wheel and all of that. But the main reason why I got it is because this guy was $395. And by spending that, it came with the Davinci Resolve Pro Studio. But I know that if I spent that money, I'll actually do this 30-day challenge and not have any shorts. Because if you just do the free version, I don't know. I'm just one of those people, skin in the game makes you do things. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste money. That's how it is. So that's why I'm using that. Most of what we talk about will work in the free version. If I run into something that don't and somebody tells me not there, let me know and I'll see what we can do to figure out how to make sure that this is easy for everyone because I want it to be as accessible as possible. Now, I did some pre-work. It's really minor, but I'm going to show you what it is. I am recording this using a program called Ecamm Live because I'm the director of strategic partnerships at Ecamm, and so it's the easiest way for me to record it. So I'm just going to pop into live demo mode in Ecamm real quick. And I closed most of the other extra Ecamm windows that you don't really need to see just so we can do this. And let's get it twisted. As a matter of fact, let's close this one too. All right. So I am using a solid state drive. This drive here is known as name later. And let me 86 these other things real quick just to make this easier. And the only thing that I did was I added these folders because I think that I can work really well off of this on an SSD, which is basically just an internal drive. Do I have an extra one on the table here just in case? This is an external drive known as an SSD. Most of you guys are familiar with this, but I did this because I have to do this Mac Studio that I'm working on. I also have my little Mac Mini right here, which is plugged into the table that I almost picked up while it's plugged in and yanked it. And I have my notebook. I travel a lot for work, and I have like 2 trips coming up during this 30-day challenge. I needed to make this really, really movable. Cool thing for me, coming from Final Cut, that don't really work good in Final Cut, but I hear it's flawless in Davinci. We about to find out. You about to find out. Okay, so here's all I did. I created these folders. Media folder. Inside the media folder will live all of my various video and things of that nature. Okay, it will contain clips. Basically, if I jump in here, you see I have cache files. So gallery files, this is something that Davinci wants to make up. A place for proxies, which I'll probably never use. And a folder that I built in here called Tampa, which I can temporarily throw away because I'll show you how I built that later. Okay, then we're going to come back and here's the sound file. So I have Foley, which basically means noises, right? If I click this, it just makes a noise. I should put my headphones in so I can hear. Transitions, Auphonic, because I use Auphonic to edit my voiceovers once I'm done so that they sound good, but I just put it there so I'll be able to find them once they're done. I did make a folder called voiceovers, and I made another folder called background where I will put in background sounds. Now, this is just my way. It's not the highway. You can do it whatever way you want. I'm just letting you know how I did it. I have a folder here for stills. There's nothing in it. I don't use stills too often, but if I need one, that's where they will go. And that's just any photos or pictures or graphics that we create with ChatGPT. They'll live there. Here is music. These are music that I often use in my videos. You guys are on my channel are famous with this one. Or familiar with this one, I should say. I know how to speak English, I swear. And this is where projects will live as I create some of these projects that all live inside there. So I think I might have to make some adjustments. Again, I'm brand new to Davinci. Let's pop open the DR. Let's get there. Not the Dominican Republic, the Davinci Resolve. So I'm using, again, Davinci Resolve Studio 20. I just did install the latest update. Now, I have created a project, but this is nothing in this project. I just did it earlier and we're going to stop, but I'll show you what you could do is click on project settings real quick so you can see how you might set up a project settings. And I swear to God, I can read. Where the heck did it go? I don't even see it. Okay, I'll use this one just so. We go to project settings. All right. So I am using a timeline resolution of 4K. Regular stuff. I didn't touch anything here. I do prefer it to be 30 frames per second. The video format is also 30 frames per second. And then everything else is the same. I don't really use proxies. All of this is here. These are my project media locations. This is the only thing that I changed from what opens when you first open Davinci Resolve is I made them all point to my external drive. So I thought, so let me fix this real quick. So I'm going to go here, click on my external drive, go into media, and then this one will be proxies. And I'm going to say that. And then I would do the same thing here. I wish it we remember where it just came from, so you don't have to do this 11 times. Davinci, but let's do that. And then last one is I'll click that guy and then click that guy, click on media and click gallery and then save. Will you do that? Okay. All right, so let's double click this guy to get into the file, or I'll just press the open button. All right, I don't know what it's doing. I'm not going to bother messing with that for right now. So this is the interface. Let me zoom out so you can see everything. You have a place for media clips, and all I did to get these media clips in was go to this media sucker here and click on to this right here on the bottom. It says media. Just let me zoom it in so you can see. Right down there, it says media. All I did was go to this drive, open this folder, and drag them down to the bottom. We're going to be working in the cut page because it is probably the simplest place for content creators to get down with the get down. So here in this particular cut page, let me go ahead and delete this old timeline so we can just start brand spanking new. Can I delete it? I'll remove timeline. Boom. Yes, delete. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We want to go and create a brand new timeline. So you would click up here and then you can just say create a new timeline, or you can simply just drag some things down here. So inside Davinci, if I were to select on a clip like this clip here, right? And I was on this first icon here at the top. There's 3 icons that you need to pay attention to. This first one here is known as source clips. This next one is known as source tape. And this, my friends, has been the thing that I think is the dopest about Davinci that I saw in their little demo reel training type situation. It's all the way live. And then here is the timeline. So to switch between the timeline and the source clip, all we're going to have to do is press Q, and it sort of toggles back and forth. Now, let me show you why this source tape thing is dope. First thing, to put something on the timeline, I could just pick this up and drag it to the bottom like any traditional editor. It's going to do a little thinking, and there is this clip on the timeline. I can use this little guy to sort of like scrub back and forth. Why are you not scrubbing? Oh, because I need to scrub up here. So you can scrub this guy back and forth, And this is weird for me coming from Final Cut, but let me explain this real quick. This upper piece right here is known as the upper timeline. This lower piece down here is known as the bottom timeline. When you try to drag this guy, you notice that the red line, the big one in the bottom, doesn't move. That is a fixed playhead. On the side over here, if I was to embiggen this so you can see more, you have some timeline options. You have some timeline actions, right? So what you can do is click on this guy and you can like disable the locked time ahead thing. Let's leave snap on. And there was one other, I think it's this one. There's a way here to release the head. This one, there we go. Time starts at the playhead, time ended the playhead, or resync the clip. Nope, that's not it either. I forgot where it is, but there is a way to turn off this little timeline snapping thing. I actually like the way it is, so I'm going to leave it. And now that I can't remember how to do it, I'll have to come back and teach you. Again, whoever's in the chat that knows the answer, holla at your mans. But I like the fact that you can slide here, and I'll show you why this makes sense if you edit the way we tend to edit as basically YouTube creators. Now, let me click back on here in the center and let's go to source tape. Source tape is dope because if you were shooting a bunch of content with a GoPro or something of that nature, you would have the ability to just have all your clips in one thing and just sort of slide through and you can see all of what you did. Now, all I did was go to Artlist and grab a bunch of clips that is very summer oriented. So that's sort of what that is. I had those extra green screen ones from I had downloaded before. But if I were in here, all I need to do is take this basketball clip and let's say we want to start right here. You just press I for in. And then you're going to scrub to where the ball gets in. And before he comes down, we want to hit O for out. That's all I need to do. I could basically hit F9 and put that onto the timeline. Now we're going to put this, let's say right here, we're going to click back on our basketball clip and then there you go. So that just added that to the timeline here. And if we move this little timeline scrubby, you can see where that goes. Now, let's say we wanted to divide that clip and put something in the middle here. You would put that there and then you would hit Command B to blade that particular clip. And then you can't really open up a hole the way I have it set up. There is a way to turn it off so that you could. But if I wanted to say, put something in the middle of that, like this girl here, I could just take her and drag her in the middle. And notice how the clip automatically jumps. That's another cool feature of Davinci. And you'll see on the upper timeline, now you can tell that I have 3 clips, right? And you see the cut points. So you can easily move to these and you can trim them from up here. You could trim them from down the bottom. And what's cool, if you notice this icon here, it turns into like a little blade with a open bracket pointing to the left. That tells me that I can drag this guy this way. If I come on the other side, I can get the blade, open bracket to the right, and I can drive it this way. If you land dead center, it shows this box. That's how much room I have to make this little slide clip, right? So I can trim either way. And I love the fact that the box tells you how much range you got. Again, big come up from Final Cut, right? Totally big come up from Final Cut. So again, I can slide around in here and add some more items. So if we go to the end, let's just take this and back this off a little bit. I can grab a bunch of clips. Let's just say we're going to grab all of these. I can just pick those up and drop them on the timeline. And now you'll see on the little timeline up here, the upper timeline, not little timeline, Doc, you see where all your clips start and stop, right? So I love this. I love how, let's take this family on the beach. I could click this guy and drag it back. And there is a little, I will get right by the playhead so you can see what I'm talking about. There is a little plus and minus that's telling you how many seconds you are moving. And at the bottom, it's telling you the overall duration. So if I release that and I go to do this again, notice where it turns green. I am adding 5 seconds, and we're going to make this land directly on 8 seconds, right? So if I wanted to do it from the top, I could do the same thing there. Let me grab this piece right here. That is the end of that. I'll make this one go to 5 seconds. All right. I can take this piece here, grab the edge. I can make it go to 5 seconds. So I love how you can just see what you're doing. It's very super simple, very super easy. And that is that. Let's pop back out to the full interface again. And just by hitting Q, I can go back and see my source tape, see what various clips I want, easily scrub through here to find what you're looking for. Like I might want to grab this beach, what do you call this thing? Air kite? And that's not the right word. Kite surfer. And again, I can play around in this clip and take it from, put the board right underneath the feet, hit the I. I can come down here and then put the in for out. I mean, the O for out. And there's my in point and out point. You can adjust them by grabbing this little guy down here. And notice that it's showing you the subframes in the clip here. I can grab this piece, slide it back and forth, also showing you the subframes. And then now I can pick it up with the smart insert that I have there and drop it into this particular clip, right? So I love the fact that that just works. I like the fact that you can sort of see what you're doing, but I can pick this up and either drop it into the clip or I can drop it on top. Like say we're trying to hide that cut. Now I can drop it on the top and I can sort of see where I'm at. And in the upper timeline, there is your clips. So let's right click on this clip and change the clip color. And I want B-roll to actually be blue. And then I want to take all the A-rolls. Can I grab them all? Let me do select all down here on the bottom. Command A, select all. Hold the command key to get rid of that. I'm going to right click on this bottom one and set my A-roll to apricot. And I'm going to leave my B-roll to blue because he's stupid like that. But we're going to use navy. No, I don't like that. Let's use regular blue. He crazy. All right. So now I understand, my various roles, right? I could even go as far as looking at these guys and see that this particular person is a face. So maybe I want it to be different when it has a face inside. Let's put P for face. I don't know what that means, but that'll work. So what I should be able to do is when I see her, she stayed that color. So let's go ahead and change her to purple. All right. So now you see you got a little bit of color in your timeline. So once you start building things, you can easily color code everything and find out what you're looking for. Like maybe you pick a different color for clips that you've sped up or clips that are slow, clips that are close up, clips that are good or rejected. So that's just some of the other things that you can do. Your standard transports all work. And the shortcut keys, which you're going to want to need to know is, again, the Q for toggling between your timeline and your source clips. You're going to want to know J, K, and L. J is backwards. And if you tap it more than once, it can go up to 48X. Right? So if I go and press L, L is playing. If I press L again, there's a 2X right here that's letting you know we're at 2X. K is to stop it. If I hit L and L and L and L, it goes up to 64X if you have a really long timeline. So J, K, and L allows you to move back and forth. If you do Shift plus the letter, if you do K plus the letter, you can move one frame at a time. If you hold it down, the keyboard repeat doesn't work. But yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to do. So if you hold the K plus one of the letters, it moves it one frame at a time. Also super, super, super handy. You can use the arrow key to move it one frame at a time as well. And you can use the up and down arrow to jump to places. And Davinci Resolve respects markers. Now, this little white arrow here is what's known as a smart edit, right? When you place things in here, it will automatically make adjustments for you. So when I come down here, you notice there's a little line. I can sort of specify where I want it to go. and it will automatically make space for me in there, which I think is, again, borderline cool. Not the type of stuff that you see in Final Cut at all. So that's very helpful to me there. And that is the basics of the cut page. Let me move this guy out the way. That is the basics of the cut page for now. Of course, we're not going to try to do this all in one day. So I think I got it down. Keys to remember again, F9 to insert something onto the timeline. You can do a pen to move it to the end of the timeline. You can use Q to toggle your source clips and where your bends are. J, K, and L are for jog speed. And if you use K plus L, one frame that way. K plus J, one frame that way. Command B is to blade. I'm going to see if I can adjust that to make it straight B, because that's what I do in Final Cut. And I think that was it. Again, putting it all in the SSD so that we can play around. But that's day one. Day one is just some basic movement around the cut page. Day two, we're going to attempt to actually edit a video in the cut page. And this is a learn as we go process. So if you guys know something I don't know, holla at your man. I am down. I'm down here to learn. I'm ready to get this Davinci game on. This should be a lot of fun. If there's anything you think I should watch, resources you think I need to know, holla at your boy. Now, you know what I say. I don't know who need to see this, but if it was you, let me know down in the comment section below. And we'll see you on day two. Thank you so much. Right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video that I think you should watch, and I agree with him.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet,